we recently would have the elections in South Ossetia, in a breakaway region of Georgia, where also there might be the referendum for joining and becoming the part of Russia.
True, it is what is going on, and the most interesting process is that one of the candidates, which is currently not registered to be a candidate to the position of president, a former president of so-called South Ossetia, is criticizing Kremlin openly, criticizing military bases on the territory of South Ossetia, and having quite substantial public support. So there are peaceful demonstrations which are going on in the region, and it is clearly ironic that they are led by one of those who have been destroying the roots of democracy in this region. But it is very interesting and important to look into this situation, because we already saw how many years ago in other breakaway region in Abkhazia, people of this territory have been able to elect not a candidate of Moscow but someone else alternative. Since it's a very small community, since relative relationships are important, many things might happen there.
Grigory, at this stage, what do we know about the participation of the Chechen battalions, of the Chechen fighters who are the soldiers of the Russian army or Russian Guard in Syria, in particular in Aleppo and, but not just there?
We do know that there is so-called military police there. We do know from the region itself that they've been expected to get back, to be sent back home already in January, but that never happened. We do know that another relative nation, they are part of Vainache nation, both Ingush and Chechens. So now Ingush battalion was sent to Syria to support Chechens there. We do not know exactly what are they doing there, but at least the purpose of military police is quite clear. They are supposed to guard military main military stations we do have in Syria. So it's mostly Latakia, I guess.
But we hear about this creation of this center for the training of the special forces in Chechnya, and really there is this notion of the people fighting for Kadyrov. Kadyrov says there is this term, but really, who are these people? Whom are they loyal? I mean, they are the part of the Russian Guard, but really, what this force is?
I think this is a special force which is mainly loyal to Kadyrov, but it's clear that on demand they might be requested for any special operations in any parts of Russia. We are in the election year already, and if something is expected in some of our Russian regions, some kind of protests, these people would be definitely the best to attack protesters, and I think those people would be ready to do whatever would be requested by Moscow as well.
How many of them? Do we know the figures?
We do not know, because it is a process which is going on right now. It is a process of they completed more and more people from Chechnya are now part of Russian Guard. More and more, and we do know that key of them are still staying in Chechnya. The question is, would they be sent by request to Syria? Maybe right now that is a main target, or in other regions as well.
How can we describe the relations between Putin and Kadyrov at this stage? Who depends on whom?
Well, if we think that Kremlin depends on Kadyrov in Chechnya, we can say yes, maybe in terms of amount of percent, would it be 99% or would it be 90% or 100% of voters who elected Putin in 2018, if that elections would happen. If we think about money, certainly Kadyrov depends on Putin in terms of money. If we think about security, definitely the moment then Putin would not anymore symbolically support Kadyrov would be a very tough moment for Kadyrov, because his security is very much based on a symbolic support from Moscow.
After the campaign in Syria and what's happening with ISIS in general, so do we know about the people of the from Caucasus coming back from Syria and Iraq back to Caucasus, back to Russia?
Yes, we do know. We do know that even from official watch lists, there are dozens of cases which are currently investigated, which means that much more than dozens of people with a military experience returned back already to Russia, and clearly returned back to their immediately illegal status. So I do expect that it is space from where something might appear.
The investigation of Boris Nemtsov killing, there are other talks about the Chechens participating. We know the investigation is more about the perpetrators, not the those who ordered that. But really, what can we say about this case at this stage?
At this stage, we are quite clear that those who are probably those who executed, those who are assassins, those who've been involved in that, their case is, well, it is not just very easily taken by the prosecutor. The prosecutors are asking tough questions. The prosecutors are providing quite clear evidence that that was a group which was together implementing a special task, but they certainly might do much better than what they're doing, but in the same way they're doing close to nothing to find out about those who formed this task group, who ordered that assassination, which is clearly showing that there is no demand to investigate who was really involved in the order of assassination, in the same way as investigation of killing of Anna Politkovskaya, for example, was organized.